2 The Redline Productions proudly presents.
Hey there, YouTube. Well, today I wanted to tour this 2011 Chevrolet Cruze Eco with 13,000 miles. I've done multiple tours of the Cruze, but I feel it deserves to be redone, considering this is for To the Redline this time. Take a look in back. You can see Eco has the little lip at the end of the trunk. You can see where it says Eco. These chrome wheels, yeah, they look like chrome. Kind of confusing with polished aluminum, but it's likely that they're just dirty chrome wheels. But anyways, the car rides on 215 55 17s. Rear drum brakes, surprisingly. The interior, all black. There's black cloth here, and a 6-speed manual. Now it's quite enticing. Man, you can just hear this door chime just bonging away from the door speaker. Adjustments to the seat for extra thigh support, backrest. I find that quite ugly over there, unless the cover is missing. You can see all this mess over here. That's quite ugly. I really hope that it's missing the cover in the side. Or what is it? No, the seat's just like that. That's disgusting. Key fob. Key flips out. Unlock, lock, trunk, and panic. It's neutral. To the gauge sweep. I've done the Chevy Cruze before, but since this is for To the Redline, I feel that the Cruze deserves to be redone again. Now, as usual, we'll start talking about comfort, and the Cruze is quite tolerable for the most part in terms of that. Though I will stress out that the center console, the center stack, actually feels a bit wide. Though you can adjust the seat way back to the point that I can't even reach the pedals, and I'm 6'1", so I can't even touch it. I can barely just tip the throttle. So I guess that's one positive note, that you can at least adjust the seat way back if you're a tall driver. And the seats are quite supportive. You can see over here, the sides, nicely bolstered here in the bottom section, even in the backrest as well. The seats are also very cushiony, though the back section does feel quite firm, as if you're sitting on a plank, so maybe in the long run it may be a little bit annoying. There is lots of shoulder room, you can see over here. Though since I have to have the seat all the way back, I really can't make much use of the armrest over here, which is padded, by the way. And the B-pillar is somewhat recessed, though, because it does poke out a little bit, you can see. But yeah, as I'm a tall driver, I really can't make any use of this armrest. And thigh support is also tolerable as well. I mean, I have it adjusted to the max. I would have wished for a little bit more, but it's not bad. Anyways, again, the adjustments for the thigh support is right here. Push it down to lower it, and to raise it. Backrest over here. And the mechanism to adjust the seat back and forth, you can see. Interior quality also not really a big deal. I mean, it's pretty much a fiesta of man-made materials everywhere. The entire dashboard, everything all plastic, the traditional grainy stuff that General Motors is used to making. Now, one thing I really did notice is how this lid over here, this little compartment, well, it's nice to have that little storage compartment. It's mismatched. I mean, you can see the dashboard has a slight anti-reflective coating on it, but that doesn't seem to be the case on this lid. It's mismatched, you can see. This is shiny, this isn't. And it's also much smoother. Uneven gaps as well. So that's quite strange. This section is padded, though I am not a fan of having cloth on top of a dashboard. I feel that over time this thing can tear. It will also be a stain magnet, so if you have a drink and you somewhat flick it on there, it will end up staining the dashboard, this section over here. So I don't think that's a smart choice of materials there. At least a vinyl would have been preferred. Glove box, quite large. It's lit, as you can make out. Dual latches, surprisingly, so it's not going to flap around or anything like that. It is damped. It did shut evenly, too. Again, and now you can see here on the side, the center stack. This edge over here is very pokey. It's not flush with the rest of the center stack over here. You can see there. You have a small pocket for storage. Here's the display for the radio. Radio's pretty good. The sound is very good, actually. In-dash CD does have satellite, aux, door locks, European car thing to have it down here in the center. Hazards. Climate control, it's not dual zone, but it's also very simple. Nothing hard to learn over here. Fan speed. Stability control. 6-speed manual. That's pretty good right there. Now, to get this car into reverse, you would think that you would just have to slide it over here and get into reverse, but no. It still leads you into first gear. In order to get it into reverse, just lift this little waistband over here, and it will go all the way to the left, and now you're in reverse. And now you can see how it just retracts right back. See? It dropped right back down. Not a fan of this plastic finish over here, this metallic gray over here. You can just see the gaps inside and the dust that accumulates within. Power outlet, dual cup holders, e-brake. Over here, the rest of the center console storage area really isn't that massive, though at least you do have the aux jack, USB connectivity. And it does feel, it's not sure-footed at all. It feels as if it's just holding on to one side or something. It's somewhat creaky. Armrest is padded, exposed stitching with this vinyl. It does slide forward, fortunately. Steering wheel, leather wrapped, feels pretty good. Side bolsterings here, very thick. Cruise control, hands-free controls, and adjust for your presets here too. Volume. Again, that metallic gray color. This will fade over time, considering this is a place you frequently have your hands on, so I will expect this looking quite awful around 75 to 100,000 miles. Steering wheel tilts and telescopes. And it was damped. Just latch it right there. Headlamps, automatic headlamps as well. Panel dim. That's a fuse box. Oops. Again, the grainy plastics all fall over here. Forgot over here, turn signal lever. You can just get into the vehicle menus, such as the tire pressure, navigation, which is really more of a compass. You can see the tire pressure right there. Reset, trip computer, I assume, as well. Wipers, instrument speed. You can see the little adjustment for that right there. Finish on the A-pillar, pretty good. No gaps of any kind. Even on the passenger side. Moving over to the B-pillar and into the back. So surprisingly, they did pretty well there. Now, headliner. Not that plush, but it is quite cushiony. This light over here. This ugly incandescent bulb, this yellow light, I could have used LEDs by now. Cars such as the Focus already utilize LEDs already. Map lights over here. Surprisingly, there's no holder for the sunglasses. I assume there's the mic for the hands-free controls. Rearview mirror does not dim, but tilts. Whoa, really a big thud. Well, I guess that's the mic, I guess. I see a little vent here too. OnStar, maybe that's the mic for OnStar actually. Every GM vehicle now has that. Sun visor, quite plush. Well, actually not plush, but I mean thick. You only have a mirror, no vanity light. Same deal on the passenger side, only a mirror, no vanity lights. Oh shit, handles. They are damped. And the spring is somewhat concealed. You can still make out the little chrome in there. they are damped. Materials do carry over into the back seat when it comes to the door panel. There are some changes though, which is the armrest, which is not padded at all. It's just grainy plank over here of plastic. That's about it. Now, the rest of the back seat seems to have a high seating position. It's very tilted, so thigh support ought to be good, but I suspect legroom is not going to be a big deal. And I was right. I had the seat adjusted to where I like it, and I have to have my leg tilted to the side a little bit. It does have an insert here, but if you're under 6 feet tall, and any rear passengers are under 6 feet tall, everybody will be just fine, but everyone at over 6 feet, it's not going to work. But here's a better angle of the interior. Power outlet down below. And thigh support actually isn't a big deal. I guess it's because of my long legs. Yeah. There's no armrest at all, so yeah. 60-40 split fold, at least you have that. You may have to remove these headrests. I always get told that they tumble, but I don't see how that's possible. So you have to remove these headrests in order for the seats to make their way all the way down. Just reopen the trunk, little button right there. You saw that worked. Very large trunk actually. So again, not a fan of these hinges. If you have this trunk packed to the max, these hinges will be a problem when it comes to closing it. Could have used those struts, there is room for that. But anyways, again, massive trunk, and I know there's a cover missing over here. They're not going to make this trunk with this hole like that. There's no spare tire. You see under there, I guess that would have been jack storage or compressor storage, no clue. Whatever it is missing. Let me step out a little. The turbocharged 1.4 liter dual overhead cam 4-cylinder makes 138 horsepower and an impressive 148 foot-pounds of torque at 1850 RPM, which is just excellent. I guess it's a smooth running engine for the most part. I guess I'll admit it's a bit buzzy on the high end. It revs smoothly for the most part. Let's close the door, how much quieter it is. Yeah, yeah, it's a tad buzzy on the high end, especially once it creeps up to 4,000 RPM. And when you tap onto the accelerator, like midway like this, you hear like this rather raspy sound to it. A little gurgly. But it's minimal. So, before concluding this tour, I'd have to say that the Cruze is actually a valid contender in this market now, in this segment. I mean, before, when it was the Cobalt, it was more of a joke. Not that the Cobalt was a bad car, but the interior was just awful. Fuel efficiency, gearbox and such, everything. Just so many drawbacks to that car, but they really rectified many issues with this Cruze. Still, they carried over a few traits such as the interior quality in many areas, which really could have used lots of improvement. Though it is light years ahead, no doubt, but they still could have done a better job, considering we have cars such as the Focus, Elantra, for example, with much better interior quality. Even the Mazda 3 as well, which isn't half bad either. Another thing that must be stressed out with the Cruze Eco is the fuel efficiency. I think with the 6-speed manual, this car is capable of doing 41 or 42 miles to the gallon, which is just excellent for this sized car. So you will not be disappointed with its MPGs. But anyways, YouTube, thanks for watching, and that concludes a tour to this 2011 Chevrolet Cruze Eco.
Yeah, here's some legal stuff for you. The views and opinions expressed in the following video may not necessarily reflect those of the title-holding automotive dealer or the entity they represent. All videos are filmed with permission by a professional driver on a set course with the collaboration and assistance of local law enforcement authorities. Do not attempt. Logos and brandings of vehicle manufacturers, dealerships, and online social media sites are the sole property of their respective representation used with permission. The To The Redline logo, soundtrack, and web resources, as well as all other associated media, are copyrighted intellectual property of To The Redline LLC. All rights reserved.